homes have been destroyed on the Spanish island of La Palma.
La Palma.
La Palma.
La Palma. La Palma.
In 2021, La Palma was rocked by one of Spain's most devastating natural disasters. But what happened after the lava stopped is the real story. So we traveled to La Palma to learn more about it and see it in person. As a brief introduction to La Palma, it's one of the smallest and most beautiful islands in Spain. That's why it gets the nickname of La Isla Bonita. Of course, it is a volcanic island, but the landscapes are insanely beautiful. Although, that's not today's focus. In the next few days, we will travel around the areas affected to see the impact still visible and find out about the homes used to evacuate the families affected. This video reflects our personal experience and perspective during our visit to La Palma, including areas affected by the 2021 volcanic eruption. We understand this event had a deep impact on the island and its people, and we aim to share what we saw with sensitivity and respect. Our intention is not to sensationalize or minimize the hardships faced by the local communities, but to offer a glimpse into how the island is rebuilding and recovering 4 years later.
We came to a viewpoint called Mirador de las Coladas de Tajugaite, or if not, something like that, and we never knew we were going to be able to see so easily the path of the lava.
It's been about 4 years since the volcano erupted in La Palma, and it's really interesting to see that they've started to rebuild a lot of things. For example, the road that was completely cut off by the lava is now up and running, and there are other parts that you can see might have been completely missed by the lava. For example, this village. But what happened to La Palma? In September 19, 2021, a volcano called Tajugaite tore through the island's landscapes, destroying everything. Homes, schools, entire villages completely gone.
The volcano eruption lasted around 85 days, causing chaos and fear amongst the locals.
La Palma had gone 50 years without a volcanic eruption. This eruption occurred because the magma generated in the Earth's mantle migrated upwards, preceded by a period of seismic activity, including an earthquake swarm, which scientists used to predict the eruption and warn residents. However, according to our research, residents were only warned days before the event. The eruption officially ended in December, but even after 4 years later, there are still scars on the island.
We are going to try and get closer to the areas affected, but it's a bit difficult because some are restricted, some only neighbors can access it, and we are going to try and find the others where are accessible and we can see a bit more of the impact. We are coming to a part where it used to be before two villages called El Pedregal y El Paraíso, but obviously, as you may observe right now, it's not there anymore. I believe they are currently working just to bring it back to life and make it livable again. We can pretty much see from here the volcano that erupted and also where the lava started. Look over here. I'm not sure what was first, but I imagine that they've carved the lava to make the fences. It's so impactful what we are seeing. And I think that house has been split in half.
Nothing can prepare you until you're actually here seeing this up close. That's why we wanted to do this video, to showcase the aftermath of the volcano, because when you see that it's erupting, you think, wow, that's so shocking, you didn't expect that to happen. But then when you're here and you see what happened, you think to yourself, oh my god, so much happened, so many people were affected, and you don't even hear about it afterwards. Once the volcano's done erupting, nobody talks about it. Max just showed me this, but on Google Earth we can see what the towns used to look like.
So you see that we've got Todoque, which is pretty much where we are, El Pedregal.
There's houses, a lot of houses in fact. And then you move the finger a little bit to right. And this is what happens.
It's all gone.
It's genuinely one of the saddest things I've ever seen. It's so impacting. I know we keep using that word, but when you look at it, at this on the map, it makes you emotional. It makes you think, wow, I didn't expect that.
clearly see how that house has pretty much been buried by the lava. But also the lava here, right now it looks fresh. If I was to look at it, I would say it's still very warm.
As part of our research, we wanted to explore the homes created by the local government to house the families affected. Puerto Naos was closed to the public and only accessible by the families living there. But when we went, it looks like a very nice village on the coastline with regular buildings, shops, and hotels. But when we went to a village next to Puerto Naos called Bombilla, we found a sign highlighting a development in Los Llanos de Aridane, so we had to go. We're near the area where the volcano erupted in a place called Los Llanos. The reason we've come here is because after the volcanic eruption and the evacuation, the government set up modular homes to be able to house the people that lost their houses.
We can already see a neighborhood. It's pretty much containers when we speak of modular construction.
We had mixed feelings seeing these homes. On one side, it is amazing that they've been provided with homes and a nice park for the younger ones. But on the other hand, is this enough for the locals living here? Through the local government, we found that these homes can have either 2 or 3 rooms and a size of around 50 to 60 square meters. This development is not central, so the area felt a bit segregated. It's literally just the modular homes. Although there's public roads, we felt unsure walking in because we didn't know if we really could. It's very quiet, not really many people walking on the streets, but what we did see is resilient families taking care of what they've been provided with. Sadly, many families are still living in these temporary homes, waiting to be able to reconstruct their homes or move to new ones.